t'es jolie, je perds le contrôle. C'est vrai que t'es jolie, faut que tu sois ma nana. Bébé t'es jolie, t'es ma lumière. Bébé t'es jolie.
Hey you guys, so welcome back to my channel. It's been about a month since I last updated y'all. So today I'm just gonna share with you 5 cheap travel tips for traveling within the United States. I do want to hear more about maybe my European travels and how I got around over there. But comment and let me know if you want to hear more about that. But for now I'm just gonna be talking specifically about the United States and how I was able to move around so often last year. So obviously I think the first point that everybody is always worried about is plane tickets. People think plane tickets are so hard to come in contact with at a low rate. Y'all, gee, it's not hard. It's not hard at all, I'm telling you. It's so easy to find cheap tickets. But what I usually use is Hopper, or I use Google Flights. Most recently I've been using Google Flights a lot more. Hopper has been kind of on the iffy side lately, but Google Flights has been my life and savior. One thing I will say about Google Flights is that if you're looking for flights, even on Hopper actually, don't always choose round trip. People think that if you choose round trip, you're gonna get a cheaper rate. That's not always the case, and I'm just learning this. Sometimes you just gotta hit that one-way button. Instead of paying $300 round trip for your trip wherever you're going to, more than likely spend about $50 one way, $50 the other way. Speaking of airlines, people think if you're flying like American or Delta or United, the tickets are gonna be hella like expensive. That's not true either, because personally, I do not like, I've flown Spirit one time, but I do not like flying Spirit. I do not like flying, what's the other one? Frontier. I don't like flying those 2 airlines. I feel like they be finessing people. When you get ready to book a flight, look at the end when you're like about to pay. There's a whole list of things that they're like, well, you can add this on. It's not even worth. You might as well fly American or Delta or United. The second most important part of traveling obviously is where you're gonna lay your head. I like that Airbnbs have, like, on their website or on their app, they have the filter option where you can like choose if you want the entire house. That being said, Airbnbs are always 10 times cheaper than a hotel, especially if you're trying to be in the city center of a specific city. If you get a hotel, the price that it is what it's going to be. You are not going to be able to finesse it unless you know somebody or you got some type of veterans discount, you feel me? With Airbnbs, like, the prices are reasonable for the amount of time that you stay, and then sometimes they be having discounts on there if you get a certain amount of nights. The prices are cheaper, and then you can get an entire place to you and your friends. Like, y'all just got the entire place. Instead of feeling guilty about leaving your hotel because you didn't spend all this money on it, you got an Airbnb where you're like, I didn't spend that much money on it and we're only laying our head here, you know what I'm saying? So, or shout out to Alicia, because she's the one that kind of put me on these. At first I didn't like them, but you could get a hostel. A lot of times if you're just spending like one night, hostels are the move. You can get a single room hostel. You can get a 6-bunk hostel where you with a bunch of people. It'd be like $17 a night to lay your head somewhere. But hostels are not that bad. So definitely, if you want, you can do a hostel. That's like another option to get around cheaply. Next thing I would definitely say is to have somebody in your group. If it's not just you traveling alone, have somebody in your group create an itinerary. Shout out to Chanel. When me and her traveled to a couple of countries, like, she's very organized. I'm organized too, but she enjoys it. I'm kind of like, I don't feel like writing all this stuff down. I'll tell you where I want to go. And she was the person that was like, I'll write it all down. I'll break down the prices and everything for us so we don't have to worry about it when we get there. Not like scrambling at the end of the day. Because it sucks when you get there and you don't know what to do, and then you're trying to spend all this money randomly. If you have an itinerary, you have everything set, most of your stuff is paid for already. If you pay for stuff ahead of time, usually you have discounts. Or I will also say, shout out to Alicia, I'm shouting out all my friends, obviously. She used Groupon a lot. When we went to a couple of places in the United States, really used Groupon it helps in bulk depending on where you're going. So if you have multiple people traveling with you, you can get Groupons, and it gives you a discounted rate depending on how many people are going to be in your group, and that's definitely helpful. So that's another option. This one is huge because it depends on what city you go to. I personally think that everybody should just take public transportation wherever you go. Obviously not every city allows for you to do that, and sometimes you do have to either like rent a car or Uber. But if you're in a big city where their transportation is great, like New York, take public transportation everywhere. It is so cheap. You save so much money. Instead of spending like $20 on an Uber, you just hop on the train. It might be an extra couple minutes for you to get around, but it's still so worth it, and you get the experience of being in that city. You know what I'm saying? So the only places I would really say get a car is like places in the South, in Atlanta or in maybe Florida, you know. But in like LA, you would probably want to Uber everywhere. You wouldn't want to drive because the traffic out there is trash, and they don't really have public transportation out there. But if you're in a big city, get on the train, get on the bus. I'm telling you, like, you'll love it. I feel like you'll experience more. You'll feel like you're a part of the city more. And the last point I will make, I think this more pertains to, well, it half and half. So let me just say one part. Make sure you get like the discounted things. I kind of touched on this with the Groupon thing. Like sometimes they have like the passes where you can get all of the attractions and pay like one flat fee, and you can go in and out as you please. Get it, especially if you know you want to see a lot of stuff in that city, especially like the big stuff. Get one of those. Secondly, I think this more pertains to Europe, because Europe is more like this. I feel like United States, you hit a certain age, you can't do it. When you are 26 and younger, everything you are considered youth. So utilize your ID. You're like, nope, I'm 26, I'm 25, I'm this age, I want that discount. It will charge you the full price if you're not showing them your ID. I hope this video was kind of helpful. I feel like I touched on like 5 top things that people kind of worry about when they're traveling. If you guys have any questions about anything, or if you want to suggest any ideas to me, comment down below, leave a like, share with your friends and family. If you want to hear more about the Europe experience and maybe like how you can travel cheaply there, I have some stuff in there that I can like share with y'all. But other than that, that is the end of this video, and I appreciate y'all watching. Have a good rest of y'all day. I love you so much. Bye.
C'est bon pour nous deux.